Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's the podcast of joy and happiness, especially as the temperatures fall. It's Robbie Koblenz, Guys of a Certain Age, in studio alongside
Jay Reed.
Jay Reed. You probably need to bring that mic up just a little bit there, Jay.
Up like...
Yeah,
like
pick it
so,
up.
Like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
okay.
There we go.
Close enough. I hope everybody out there listening feels that Jay is closer to them now, because he's a little bit closer to me. Anyway, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Good.
Art's on assignment, doing the things that Art does. This is the first time in a while we haven't had all three of us on the show.
It is.
It used to be there was a section there where it was rare that all three of us were on the show.
That's true.
I just feel warm and fuzzy that you and Art allow me to be on your podcast continuously. So,
well, keep up the good work, and we'll renew your contract.
I have a contract.
No, Art and I have a contract. We're just
yeah. Oh, you're going to take a contract out on me? Is that what you're saying?
Oh well, now ideas in my head now.
Yeah, there you go. So, let's jump into some geeks. So, yesterday, as we record, the news dropped that the DCU has found not only their Hal Jordan, Kyle Chandler, that was officially announced yesterday, but they found their Jon Stewarts. So
it's both Green Lanterns, correct?
Yes. Okay. Aaron Pierre, who, what has he been in? He was in, if I would be a little bit more prepared, I can't remember. He's an up-and-coming, Rebel Ridge is what he has been in, and I'm not familiar with that property. So, there's so many things out there now to watch, and you just...
I can't keep up now.
Rebel Ridge was a film on Netflix earlier this year. It's one of those we're gonna throw the kitchen sink at you with, promoting it. Then once it hit, it died, and you never heard
Not Rebel
anything.
Moon.
No,
That's a different
Rebel Ridge.
Okay,
it's a different Rebel.
So these are these Green Lanterns that are being named. Are they for a particular movie, or are they just saying that in the DCU from this point?
So there's going to be a Green Lantern series on HBO Max. And the way they are positioning it is they are going to make a true detective-ish type of cop series with these two as Green Lanterns.
Okay, I remember the series. I'd forgotten about it. Though. Okay.
So if in the mythos of DC, the Green Lanterns are essentially the cosmic police force.
Okay.
All right. So there's a Green Lantern per sector, right? And
I didn't realize there was more than one Green Lantern until I came on this podcast.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad we were able to educate you there, yes, Jay. So, but there are multiple Green Lanterns scattered throughout the cosmos. Each cosmic sector has their own Green Lantern, and then there's the Yellow Lantern Corps, which are like the sworn enemies, and they're different colored lanterns as the mythology is increased. So, Hal Jordan was the established Bronze Age Green Lantern. There was a Golden Age Green Lantern back with the Justice Society of America. And they, as I understand, we don't have our DC resident expert here to rehash for us. But when they kind of, DC went into their modern era, they borrowed some things. And so Hal Jordan was the modern Green Lantern. And then there was Jon Stewart, who was an African-American hero, one of the first in the DCU, or in the DC Comics universe. Right. And then you had Guy Gardner's being played by Nathan Fillion.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
In the upcoming Superman movie.
Okay, so he's going to be in the Superman movie.
Yeah,
These
as
other
a Green
guys
Lantern.
are being set up for the series, we think.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah,
till we see the movie.
Yeah, till we see the movie. And speaking of not seeing the movie, apparently nobody went to go see the Joker sequel.
Yes, after all the hype, I still want to see it, but it's like even worse than Madam Web. I read. Yeah,
Morbius, Madam Web. It's pretty horrible. The the headline I saw was Joker Foi Adieu, the movie nobody asked for or went to go see. So, anyway, that was like the last thing in production before Gunn and Sapphire, whatever his name is, who took over DC Studios. Yeah, all right. Great. Good for that, And the first movie was such an unexpected success that it had really, really, really big clown shoes to fill, and I don't think there's any way they could have made it. So,
And then with the musical thing, I mean, that was a risk too.
I've been telling people that don't put musicals in TV in movies or TV shows. Musicals should just be set to live performances on stage, and that's it. Nowhere else. So, but did you? I mean, I can't. Did you see the first one?
Yeah.
And you liked the first one. So,
and I'll see the second one. I don't know that I'll see it in a theater now that it's gotten so panned, but
yeah.
And I don't have really time much to go right now, but
yeah.
Anyway,
well, I don't think you'll be able to see it in a theater unless you we stopped recording and you went to Hollywood Premiere Cinemas right this second and knocked on the front door and asked if you could hit the digital print for the next couple hours. So, anyway, it is what it is. Bless their hearts. So, I'm going to be real curious at how James Gunn cleans up from this. So. I mean, I think Gunn is a tremendous creative. I loved the first two Guardians of the Galaxy. Was not a big fan of the third one, to be honest. And it was okay, but I had higher expectations that were not met.
Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily think that this project is going to taint the new DCU.
No, I don't think it will either, but I'm curious on how he's going to make all this work. And I think he's the guy to do it. I mean, if Josh Whedon had not kind of screwed up like he did, he would have been a logical choice as well. But Josh Whedon is just no longer available. He's unemployable. So anyway, so that's my geek. What have you got in the mysterious, magical notebook of geeks there?
This is special geek for our listeners in Australia. So I hope we have some because
Steve, are you still listening? Paging Steve Griffiths.
Is he in Australia?
Yes, he is.
That's awesome. Okay, well, so we got one person because I actually thought this was going to be an American thing, and when I looked it up, it is not. So Pizza Hut in Australia has a tie-in with Venom, The Last Dance, and I think in Australia it's like The Last Dance Range or something. The movie title is a little different, but in any case. You can get this black aioli that's like the Venom goo.
I'm pulling it up right now.
You can have it drizzled on your pizza. And my first...
this looks disgusting.
It was definitely black goo.
Yeah.
My first hint that maybe this wasn't happening at my local Pizza Hut was when it said that one of the toppings was rashers of streaky bacon. I'm like, okay, that is not a term we're using here. So, but it's pizza, wings... There's a mac and cheese with like ground beef in it that has it, and then like a loaded garlic bread, and basically, or if you pay an extra $1, you can have it drizzled on anything. But it's a strong collab with Venom Last Dance, and I guess I'm not going to get it. So the closest thing that I've got here, I did pick up. I haven't eaten it yet, but I was in a local big box store the other day, and I saw. A collection of Deadpool Wolverine DiGiorno pizzas, and one of them is a chimney flavored pizza. So I did pick that one up, but I have not had the opportunity to try it. So
you can make your own black goo aioli.
I'm sure
it's just mashed garlic, olive oil, and a pinch of salt.
But what makes it black?
I'm sure
squid ink or. Probably not. They're not spending that kind of money.
Yeah, squid ink's pretty expensive.
So,
yeah.
So, anyway, I thought it was kind of fun, but unfortunately, I won't be trying it here.
Yeah, unless you're going to Australia sometime in the next couple of weeks.
And as far as I know, I'm not.
As far as you know, you're not. So, Steve Griffiths, if you're listening, in fact, I may text you and ask you to go eat a Venom free range or range dance, last dance range, or whatever it is. Pizza Hut pizza on me. So maybe we can get a report from Steve.
That'd be fun.
How fun would that be?
That would be fun.
I think I will. I've got to wait a little bit before I text him because it's like 3:00 in the morning there.
Yeah, probably not.
So okay.
And then I came across something else too. This is more like a follow up on a previous geek, and I guess I can say this out loud. Number one, because my wife doesn't often listen to us anyway, and number two, she's not going to get this now, but. I was going to go ahead and like spend the $25 and get the Auntie Annie's pretzel-fume that we talked about several episodes back. And so I went to the website. It's no longer available. Apparently it was very limited edition. And it appears that it's not even been shipped to those who did buy it. So I went to eBay and thought, well, maybe I can find, spend 30 or 40 and still get one. I found 2 listings for it. One was $199 and one was like $190.
For what?
For the Auntie Annie's pretzel-fume.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
This was a Geek of the Week. We've discussed this.
I remembered this, but
So it cost
$200 for
$25 if you bought it directly when it was coming out.
Yeah.
They're wanting $200 for it now. But the kick is, of course, nobody's bought it because if you look in the fine print, it'll say, when you look for shipping dates and that kind of stuff, the shipping information says will be shipped immediately upon arrival. So basically, these people have ordered it, have not received it, but are already selling it in hopes that somebody will buy it, before it gets out. But it's not even to them yet.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's called speculation.
Yeah, these guys like shipping date November 21st through December the 3rd or something. Like, wait a minute,
of course, hoping he gets it, and yeah.
So it's going to be a Christmas gift for somebody, but not for my wife.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be fun because I always get her this Clinique stuff for Christmas, and so we have this Clinique box that we kind of reuse every year.
Yeah,
put different things in it. So I was going to put the Auntie Annie's perfume in the Clinique box, but. Not this time.
Not to be. Well, I'm going through doing some cleanup and just kind of general, streamlining of operations here. And I found a run of George magazines that I had. George was the political magazine published by JFK Jr. back in 99 through 02.
I couldn't remember, yeah.
Came this close, so close, like a centimeter from throwing them away. I said, I'm going to Google these. There's the year 2000, the 12 magazines, which I believe I have all of them, recently sold for close to $500 on eBay. One of them being Donald Trump on the cover.
Wow.
So, we're going to eBay this afternoon with George magazine. So it's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Just absolutely.
I haven't even heard of the George magazine in forever.
Yeah.
When you showed it to me, I thought, okay, that looks familiar, but.
Yeah. Just crazy. So, moral of the story: before you throw anything away, see if it has eBay worth.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, that's what we were doing when I took my mom to Graceland a few weeks ago. We
were to Graceland,
looking at all this memorabilia, and she's like,
Memphis,
"I think I've got
Tennessee.
that. I've got that. I don't have this, but I have something very much like it." And so we were checking it all out.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, so now it's time for Jay's Regrettable Heroes, brought to you by. Who knows? Annie's
$200
pretzel perfume. I don't know. Geek notebooks. Maybe it's brought to you by Art Shirley's Mysterious Assignment.
Right.
Soon in theaters and falling on Netflix, I guess. So
we better quit while we're behind.
Oh, we've never been ahead. So, hey, before we jump into that, have you been watching Agatha all along?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh.
You've just finished Umbrella Academy yesterday.
Yeah.
So that was my current watch. So Agatha will follow soon.
And Rings of Power? Mm-mm. Are you a Lord of the Rings fan?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not huge, but I enjoyed Rings of Power the first season. I will definitely watch it. I've got between Rings of Power, I've only seen one episode of The Acolyte. I want to see Sweet Tooth. There's another season of Sweet Tooth out. Agatha, there's like 4 or 5 different series that I have not watched. And I'm also in the middle of listening to the audiobook of Three Body Problem. So when I finish the book, I'm going to go back and watch that. I only got through about a episode of that earlier too. So
you need to probably go through the first third of the second book before you watch the movie.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a second book.
Now there's 3 books.
Okay, the
I've got the third
problem.
I've got the third book that I haven't finished. First book is phenomenal. You know, it is so original.
It is original, and it is deep in science.
It is.
And so I'm just kind of like, listen, okay, well, I don't understand that completely, but
So
it's okay.
I wonder what translation they used for the because it's originally written in Chinese,
Right.
and I guess there's only one translation. The guy
written by Sixin Liu.
Yeah,
And translated by Kevin.
yeah.
Liu, I think.
That's so they're reading you're listening to the version I've read.
Yeah, Ken Liu.
Yeah,
Oops, I don't know what I just did there. I'm gonna leave it
Yeah.
out. But anyway, yeah, Ken Liu.
how far into it are you?
5 of 13 hours. So about a little over a third way through.
Yeah, I will tell you. The episode with the ship in the Panama Canal.
But that hasn't been discussed.
Oh, no, it has not.
Okay.
Wow. So, I mean,
Now, I'm a third way into the book. I'm only one episode into the
you
show.
need to finish the book before you watch any more of the show.
Yeah,
But
well,
I'm just both from a storytelling standpoint and the way they handled it on screen. Wow.
Well, I can already tell just from the one episode that I remember the bits of it that chronologically they're not following it. Like,
Oh, not at all. And they made up characters for the TV show to take the paths of some of the the TV show takes place primarily. I mean, TV show takes place in London. The book takes place in China.
right.
And and there's also a version. There was a version made for Chinese cinema and TV that is faithful to the book on Amazon Prime, and it's all subtitles.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well, that still might be interesting.
yeah. To me, and I don't know we're going off on 3-body problem here. I don't know if they are providing you the context in the audiobook, because there are footnotes in the written book talking about the Chinese Revolution.
Probably not.
And it gives you a little bit of context, because I mean, it is so different. I mean, but
Yeah,
anyway.
I guess I'm not getting those footnotes.
Yeah, the book's pretty dense.
It's
but
still
good.
interesting, though. I mean, despite the heavy physics vocabulary and all that, I am drawn in.
Yeah.
It's just, to be honest, it's hard to keep up sometimes with the characters.
Yeah.
Just because they're not names that you're familiar with.
Yeah.
And a lot of them sound similar. And
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm catching up. And it was funny. We were coming back from a trip this weekend, and my mom was in the car with me, and she's a grammar corrector, and she'll tell you that. And so they said something, and she said, or the guy read something. She goes, "Did he just say this?" And I said, "Mom, but give him some grace. It's been translated from Chinese."
Yeah. It the second book, The Dark Forest, is it's just absolutely brilliant. We could do a whole.
Okay.
When you get through this, we need to do a 3-body problem.
Okay.
Show. I don't know that Art will jump on, but it is well worth the time you're putting into. To me, it's one of the most original science fiction books I've ever read, and I've read a ton of science fiction.
Well, I didn't seek it out. I was just looking for something to listen to, and it popped up, and it was available. So that was a good, and I knew about it.
Jay's Regrettable segment brought to you by the Chinese translation of 3-body problem. All right, what you got?
All right, so this is kind of a weird one.
Wait, they're all kind of weird. That's what makes them regrettable.
That's a good point.
You know?
But this one is Dracula.
Dracula.
So this was written, and then I'll get back to why and how. Don Segal, Tony Tallarico, and Dracula #2, issue #1, Dell Comics in November 1966. So the deal is, it's not the Dracula, but it is a descendant of the original Dracula, Transylvania, et cetera, et cetera. So Dracula was a part of a trio. Dell did some kind of based on the Universal monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein, werewolf. They had to be careful with it to not, mimic it entirely. And I think they had to change werewolf's name or something. But this guy was a research scientist, ironically, using bat blood to help people with traumatic brain injury. So, good guy here. Accidentally, too much serum fell in his glass, and he drank the serum himself, and gave him superhuman strength, enhanced senses.
But he's descended from the original.
He's descended from the original, yeah. So, he was allowed to, or able to transform into a bat. So, he came over to the U.S. His pseudonym was Aloysius Ulysses Card, and if you spell that backwards, it's let's say it's A-U Card, so Dracula, or Al-U Card. That was his name. That was his alias, but it's spelled backwards as Dracula, the way it's laid out.
Wow.
Yeah. So they kind of grasped with some things here.
So what was the date of this?
66.
How many episodes?
Not many. It was weird. It was like issues 2 to 4 and 6 to 8, and for some reason there was no issue number 5. So mysteriously missing of whatever that comic I just said a minute ago. So anyway, so he had a purple suit, kind of a Batman looking cowl sort of thing, red.
Yeah.
And he's got a gold bat
as
on his
I
belt.
see it.
Very much Batman-ish, but with the Dracula-ish powers.
I mean, what do you think? Regrettable or not?
I can't decide if it takes too much from the original or if there is a possibility of like taking all this original idea and making him. I mean, there's some cheesy parts. I mean, the name and all, but what if you did have those powers, but you just didn't call it Dracula? You call it something else.
Well, I like the idea of
Batman.
I like the idea of a descendant of the original Dracula, of Vlad the Conqueror, or whatever his name was, having latent powers that are awakened by. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
So almost regrettable, like
It's hopeful.
Hopeful. Instead of not regrettable, hopeful. It would be worthy of a revisit for a reboot, I would think.
Yeah, I can roll with that.
Yeah. Okay. Rock and roll. All right. So that will do it for the first segment. Jay's going to talk about stuff next, maybe?
Sure. Stuff.
Up next. And we're back. We're artless, but we're not Jayless, or K-less if you're a Star Trek fan. Hadn't made that joke in a while. So, what do you got? What are we doing this segment?
Well, we're going to talk about something that is, I don't know, this is definitely not evergreen, really, but I guess, 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Emmy Awards happened.
Oh, we're going to talk Emmys. Okay.
And we talked about maybe talking about them, and then other things that were more interesting came up. So
imagine that.
So here we are now talking about the Emmys. So did you watch it at all?
I did not, but I will go through. You mean just to hit a few high points?
Sure. Yeah. And I've got that list up that I was telling you about too.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to get a better list of. Emmys used to be almost must-watch TV for me, but
yeah, all the award shows. I mean, Emmys, Oscars, and Grammys. I tried to watch all some. Didn't see CMAs if I could. Tony, I never really watched the Tonys, but
yeah.
But according to our friend Donna, that's the one we should be watching.
That's what we should be watching. So, outstanding comedy series was Hacks on HBO Max. Watched season 1. Have not watched anything since.
I haven't watched any of that.
It was pretty funny.
What's the premise of it?
Basically, and I forget who is the star of it.
I can see her, but I can't.
I can see her too. She is. Let me see if I can find her. Yeah, costume, supporting actor, production design. Hold on, sorry everybody. She actually won Jean Smart. She is kind of a washed-up comedian. Think a R-rated Lucille Ball think of a cross between Richard Pryor and Lucille Ball, who did some off-color comedy, but was kind of beloved as America's sweetheart. She ends up opening her own theater in Vegas, doing a residency in Vegas, and she needs a jolt. And so Hannah Einbinder, who plays Ava Daniels, is a comedy writer who gets fired from a show in L.A., and she's looking for something to do, and she ends up on the show, and Deborah Vance's show, played by Gene Smart, and hijinks ensue.
Okay.
And so you've got a little bit of the cutthroat of show business, but you've also got the mentor-mentee. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny. I just have not been as into it, I guess, after season one. Yeah. And it beat out Abbott Elementary, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Only Murderers in the Building, Palm Royale, which I've not watched Palm Royale. That's on Apple TV+. Taylor, what's his face, who directed The Help, who's from Jackson, Mississippi. That's his show. Reservation Dogs, The Bear, and What We Do in the Shadows. It's surprising to me that Hacks beat The Bear, because The Bear is the hot thing right now.
Yeah, you'll hear that name more as we go through the awards.
So, outstanding lead actor in a comedy series, Jeremy Allen White, who plays Carmy in The Bear.
Right.
So, you've seen The Bear, right?
I've seen all The Bear.
We've still got to finish the last season. Okay. Does it strike you as a comedy?
Absolutely not. There is a lot of funny in it, but it's definitely more drama than comedy. I think they just did that to get in the category.
Yeah, honestly. Maybe so. I would have never done that in science fair. I would have never category shopped in science fair to find something that nobody ever entered, say environmental science, and then just kind of dominated for 8 or 9 years. I would never have done that. So, all right, next category, outstanding lead actress in a comedy series. Gene Smart is Deborah Vance from Hacks. We just talked about that. She beat her co-star. No, she didn't beat her co-star. Never mind. She beat Selena Gomez from Only Murders in the Building, which to me is kind of, wow. She's great. Absolutely.
Selena Gomez is great, but she doesn't strike me as super funny.
Yeah.
So I can see that.
Outstanding supporting actor in a comedy series.
Good luck with this one.
Yeah. Eben Moss Backrack.
Ben Grimm.
Yes. Going to be the thing. He plays cousin Richie in The Bear. He is fabulous.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked Paul Rudd in Only Murders in the Building, season 3.
Yeah, he's not. I've only watched season 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We started season 2, but haven't got very far.
Paul Rudd is great, and I guess it's his 3rd season. Okay. He's not in season 2. He's in 3rd season. Anyway, doesn't matter. Outstanding supporting actress in a comedy, Liza Colón-Zayas, Tina and the Bear. Right. So the Bear continues to win. And she beat Hannah Einbinder from Hacks, who's the mentee. She also beat out Carol Burnett and Meryl Streep. Wow. Boy, put that on your resume. Kick Carol Burnett's butt to the curb. Outstanding guest actor in a comedy series, Michael Berzato. John
Bernthal.
Bernthal is Michael Berzato, also the Punisher in The Bear. And that was, he pops up from time to time. And there was a lot of, there's a ton of The Bear. I would have preferred Bob Odenkirk, I think.
Well, pretty much every actor category in the comedy except for Gene Smart is a Bear winner.
Yeah, including Jamie Lee Curtis from The Bear. Are we detecting something here? Outstanding directing for a comedy series, The Fishes episode of The Bear, which is a phenomenal episode. I love that episode with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Is that the one where she crashes into the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Christmas episode. Yeah, and it's really, really, really good. So, outstanding writing for a comedy series, Hacks. Bulletproof. I haven't seen that episode, but that's kind of... So it's Hacks and The Bear for comedy for the Emmys. Let's keep on going through. Let's go to drama. Shogun from FX. Have you watched Shogun?
I haven't, but they won... I was looking at my list. They're like the number one show. They won the most awards. They won 18 total awards.
Crazy.
The Bear won 11. So I think Shogun, it's something I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
I just kind of forgot about it. But.
My oldest son and his girlfriend loved it, and he can't recommend it highly enough. Well, this is interesting. What's going on here? I don't know what I'm messing up with. Oh, I see what it's doing. Yeah. Three Body Problem was also nominated in this category.
I did see it pop up, yeah.
And Fallout, too, which that's a big prestige for Amazon Prime for that show to get. But they expanded. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You had 8 nominees as opposed to 5. The morning show was in here, which I forget that there was a new series of the morning show in 23.
I only watched the first season of that too.
It got better. The Gilded Age was also nominated. So man, you think we could get nominated for Emmy or something? So we'll go through
Webby.
Yeah, the actors, drama series. I'm not pronouncing any of them. My apologies to the winners.
Basically, Shogun won most.
Shogun won everything, didn't it? Yeah. Wow, it really did. Actress, supporting actor in the drama is Billy Crudup for The Morning Show. He was Corey Ellison.
Yeah.
He was really, really good.
Yeah,
I like John Hamm in The Morning Show as well. And Mark Duplass, who is the producer of Jennifer Aniston's producer in The Morning Show, was quite good. So I loved both of those characters. Oh, Jonathan Pryce for The Crown was nominated. He was a kick butt Prince Philip. Outstanding supporting actress, Elizabeth Debicki as Princess Diana in The Crown. Absolutely. She was unbelievable. Did you watch The Crown?
The Crown has been on in my home, and I've watched bits and pieces of it, but I haven't watched all of it.
I really enjoyed The Crown. I really, really enjoyed The Crown. I thought she was fabulous. She was Princess Diana. When
she was the older version of Princess Diana. I saw some of the younger version.
She's the one who died. She was the version who died. So, spoiler alert if you didn't know that. Outstanding guest actor, Nestor Carbonell, Rodriguez in Shogun. He was also a supporting actor in The Morning Show. Okay. So, I'm definitely going to have to watch Shogun. Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
They had several nominations.
Michelle Coel, outstanding guest actress in a drama. She was in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'm looking to see if there's anybody. Man, well, Claire Foy in that last season was great, but she was only in the last season of The Crown for like 20 seconds. So, outstanding directing, Shogun. Yeah, I can see that. And writing, Slow Horses. Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, see, I like Slow Horses. I've only seen the first season, but loved it.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
It keeps coming up in my. You may also like.
Yeah, and there's some books. I think it's based on a book, so I want to go back and.
Yeah, Gary Oldham's the lead in it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's great.
Outstanding limited or anthology series, Baby Reindeer on Netflix.
It won a lot.
Yeah.
Won a lot of awards. I haven't watched it. Did you watch that one?
No. Lessons in Chemistry, which was also nominated, I think was just a fabulous show. Really enjoyed Lessons in Chemistry. Outstanding TV movie, Quiz Lady on Hulu.
Don't know.
I'm looking at Mr. Monk's Last Case, Quiz Lady, Red, White, and Royal Blue, Scoop, and then Frosted. Didn't see any of that. Outstanding lead actor.
Yeah, I want to see Unfrosted, though. I haven't seen that.
What's that about?
It's the Pop-Tart movie with Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah. I need to see that. Outstanding lead actor in limited series or movie, Richard Gadd from Baby Reindeer. We're just going to kind of blow through here. And lead actress, Jodie Foster from True Detective Night Country. I've never gotten to the True Detective stuff. Man, Brie Larson was nominated for Lessons in Chemistry and Juno Temple for Fargo. I love Juno Temple. So, supporting actor, limited, Fargo, Lamore Morris. Keep on going.
Don't know who that is, but
I don't either. Baby Reindeer won outstanding supporting actress. Jessica Gunning as Martha. What's the premise of Baby Reindeer? Do you know?
I read it when it first came out, but I couldn't tell you.
Is it the true life story of Rudolph?
Rudolph? I don't think so.
Outstanding directing for a limited or an anthology series, Ripley from Netflix.
Who's that about?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you. I guess I probably should look at some of this stuff and maybe watch. Outstanding writing, Baby Reindeer Strikes Again. And that's kind of we haven't hit, we hit comedy, we hit drama. Those are the big pieces.
Yeah.
Now it gets into the outstanding host for a reality or reality competition program. Yeah, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, the only one I saw in that was like Pat Sajak won the best, host for a game show, and which I thought was nice because he's, he retired. So,
yeah. I don't remember how many times he's won that.
That I don't know.
So, outstanding structured reality TV show, Shark Tank.
An outstanding unstructured reality show was Wrexham.
Yeah, and absolutely.
They're so the titles of these awards. I mean, the last time I watched the Emmys, I don't remember all those words.
Yeah,
outstanding structured reality, because I guess maybe there wasn't such a thing when I watched the Emmys.
So structured reality is like Shark Tank, where you're basically coming in and you've got a formula, right? You're coming in, you're pitching, you're following the folks who are pitching, you get awarded, so it's very much, it's almost like a game show in that regard. Drive-ins, diners, and dives diners, drive-ins, and dives. Triple D, Tasteland? Flavortown's what it is. That's unstructured. As that's structured as well because you've got your formula, right? The thing about unstructured is you're basically going out and shooting and crafting a story. Structured, you're crafting the story and kind of manipulating it.
Okay.
And you have your own, you've got a format. Unstructured, like Welcome to Wrexham, you're just kind of, you don't have control of the overall story. You're documenting what's happening during the season.
Okay.
So that was a pretty good explanation.
That was. Reality
competition, The Traitors on Peacock, never saw it. Top shelf's on there, so MasterChef didn't make it. Outstanding game show, Jeopardy, which is probably 8,000 Emmys. And reality directing, Love on the Spectrum. I would have thought Wrexham would have gotten that because it's a hot thing. Welcome to Wrexham is great. Short form comedy, don't really care. Performer and the short form, we're getting deep into the weeds. So any thoughts? Yeah,
there was a couple of things I noticed. It didn't win, but one of the nominees for the animated series, I guess, was X-Men 97, which I know you and Art watched some of that.
No, I've watched maybe 20 seconds of it.
Okay, it was 20 seconds more than I have.
Yeah.
But fantasy sci-fi costumes, Ahsoka won that.
Jon Stewart, The Daily Show, won Outstanding Talk Series. So, I'm sorry, keep on
which
going.
is only there once a week now, I think.
Yeah.
But I noticed, too, if you get into the more technical stuff, even The Bear keeps winning. Outstanding picture editing, cinematography for a half an hour single camera series. See, that's what I'm talking about. These.
Do you know the difference between Do you know the difference between a single camera and a multi-camera?
It's one and more than one.
So a single camera is like a movie, a shot. You have a camera that is a single point of view. You're going to shoot the scene. You're going to cut. You're going to move the camera to the other side to get the reverse coverage. Do the other actor, cut, maybe do a wide. So you're shooting usually with a single camera, sometimes with a second camera to get a react. A multi-camera is like essentially a live switch. So Shark Tank is multi-camera. So you've got cameras on the audience or whatever, you got cameras on the judges, and you're switching in real time, or you pretend like you're switching in real time. It's all shot individual camera, then edited in post, but it is more of I can sit in and be part of the action versus I'm peering through a camera lens, a single camera, to see what's happening for the drama stuff.
That makes sense. I just don't remember that being a category in the past. Single camera, half an hour, just a lot of specificity there that I don't remember from the Emmys in the past.
So what's happened is with the explosion in television and visual media that you can consume, they've had to create more awards. So, I mean, because it's not fair for, Welcome to Wrexham to go against Shark Tank because they're two They're
very different.
Very, very different. So anyway,
sense.
what else you got? I'm just kind of spinning.
Well,
through.
the Chris Storer one for director for Bear also.
Yeah.
The comedy series. I think you wrote, okay, you said most of it. Basically drama, everything was Shogun. Yeah, that was about all I wrote down. I mean, that was basically, of all the things that won, like Shogun, have not seen. The Bear, I've seen all of it. And then you jump down on this list of programs with multiple awards. The next thing that I watched was Morning Show, and I haven't watched it in a while. That only won 3. Only Murders in the Building won 3. Welcome to Regrettable.
Well, you mean you only win 3? I would kill for a single Emmy award.
3 Emmys. Well, that's right. That's true. And then fdown the list, that's it. I haven't watched any of these other things, so I don't feel like I missed a lot by missing the Emmys because I haven't seen the shows that won.
Yeah. So,
and the ones that I want to watch are just like season 2 and 3 of Only Murders, Morning Show. I could go back to The Crown.
So
Shogun wins as far as something that I now want to watch that I'd kind of forgotten about.
So we talked about this a little bit off mic. What television show has won the most Emmys? Do you remember this from your research?
I saw it, but I don't remember.
Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah.
It's won 90 Emmys. So let's get away from the
Lorne
live.
Michaels has won himself that many or more.
Probably a bazillion.
Yeah.
The second most wins is Game of Thrones with 59.
Wow.
Yeah. Game of Thrones was a darling. Frasier, number 3 with 37 wins.
Okay. That didn't shock me.
Well, and then The Simpsons, number 4, tied with 37 wins.
Have you followed The Simpsons in the last few weeks?
I have not. What's
season 36 premiered recently as we record.
Yeah. And
the premiere episode was put out as a series finale. It wasn't the finale. So spoiler alert, it's not really the finale. But Conan O'Brien comes on there and introduces it as the finale. And they do all these sort of callbacks to other series finales in the throughout the show or towards the end of the show. I haven't watched it yet, but because I've got to find it. But I tried to watch it last night, and it wasn't on the Disney Plus that I thought it would be. I think it's maybe on Hulu. And anyway, there's a lot of connection there. But season 36, episode 1, the premiere episode, supposedly was the finale, but it's not really. But they treated it as such. However, they're also saying that Fox hasn't picked up a season 37 yet. They have not announced that there will be one. So it could be the last season of The Simpsons. Not official, but they kind of they're kind of playing with the idea at least. But I'm interested to watch the episode because
it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah. Bart celebrates a shocking birthday party. Season 36, episode 1, Bart's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that's part of the deep meaning is Bart has a birthday. And
finally,
is going to turn 11.
Please try again.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what.
It's your Siri.
Yeah, supposedly he comes close to turning 11, but doesn't quite.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
that's part of the sort of the drama too. Is that if he turns 11, then it's all over.
I'll have to watch that. So, number 5 on the list of most Emmys ever, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver with 30 wins.
Good grief, that hasn't been out that long.
It hasn't. No, but I think probably what he was able to do once Jon Stewart stepped down, Last Week Tonight was kind of the darling child of that genre. Mm-hmm. So, number 6, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, 29 wins.
Okay.
It's almost like taking your old ACT score, comparing it to the new ACT, mm-hmm. where before a certain date you would like a 28 back in the old days would be equivalent to a 30 now. Mm. So I think you need that demarcation line, because 29 wins for The Mary Tyler Moore Show to me means more than 59 wins for Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Because the Mary Tyler Moore was peak TV, and you had less nominees and whatnot.
Yeah.
RuPaul's Drag Race, 29 wins.
Oh wow, that's
Cheers 28 wins. You see what I'm saying?
RuPaul beat Cheers.
Yeah, can you believe that?
No.
Which beat Hill Street Blues with 26 wins. So, anyway, we'll finish out the top 10. My favorite, I still think it's the best television show of all time, The West Wing, with 26 wins. So, don't see Doctor Who on here anywhere. So, The Crown had 24 wins. Huh, interesting. And that was like number 12. All in the Family, 22 wins, 14th.
Okay.
Archie! Sorry, I cannot help myself. I went all the way to All in the Family so I could do my Edith. Jeez, Edith! All right, that will do it. We are Emmy-less yet again. Maybe somebody will nominate us for something one day, Jay. You think?
I think so.
Yeah. Until then, we'll see you next time around.